We continue our international political analysis and our international religious analysis. The war in Iran continues. The war continues. Israel and the United States of America continue bombing Iran and continue bombing of Lebanon. In other words, this simply means more children to die, more men to die, more sons and daughters to die, more hospitals to be destroyed, more medical personnel to be destroyed, and yeah, even journalists are going to die. This war, many journalists have lost their lives, many doctors, many medical workers, many young kids, many sons and daughters in form of soldiers have lost their lives. So the continuation of war, it's a continuation of loss of life. So they don't care. They don't care. Israel does not care. USA does not care. You understand? Because a ceasefire, at least we knew that less people are going to die, but they said no to the ceasefire. We want more death, we want more blood. So today, as we continue to give our international analysis politically and religiously, so welcome and thank you for choosing to spend time with us this morning. Yesterday we discovered that Trump administration summoned, or the Pentagon summoned, the ambassador of Pope Leo, and they told him that the United States has military power to do whatsoever they want. In other words, we were told that the ambassador of Pope Leo was threatened and even warned that the Catholic Church needs to take a side, needs to choose its side. Now, this is what I want to tell you. We've been talking about the papacy. We've been talking about the Roman Catholic Church being behind the war. We said about 2 to 3 weeks ago that the papacy is in charge of Israel. The papacy is in charge of the United States of America. And many people did not believe it. They dismiss it. But I can tell you, yesterday, the papacy or the Vatican was introduced to the war. That's why we have our title there, The Papacy Enters the War, or The Vatican Unleashed. So the Vatican was officially introduced introduced to this war yesterday. So this is what we're going to be dealing with today and more and more. All right. So there's something that Donald Trump said about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones. We know that Donald Trump speaks his mind. We know that Donald Trump fears nothing. And I can tell you this term, the second term of Donald Trump, is the most difficult term. In his first term, he did whatsoever he wanted. He did whatsoever he pleased to do. He was free, okay, in his first term. But in this second term, I don't believe that Donald Trump is free. Donald Trump is captured. Okay, the White House is captured. Donald Trump, it's not a happy president in this second term. Donald Trump, it's a captured president. He does not do what he wants like in the first term. In the first term, Trump was the man. He was in charge of the United States of America. At this point, Trump is not in charge of the United States of America. Israel is in charge of the White House. Trump is captured. The White House is captured. We know that rumor has it that Trump had agreed to a ceasefire both in both in Iran and in Lebanon. And then rumor has it that Benjamin Netanyahu called Trump and said, man, I don't care about Lebanon. I'm going to bomb Lebanon. I'm going to bomb Lebanon. It's not part of the ceasefire. And Trump changed tune. All right. Why? We believe that Israel has some debt on Trump. And many people believe to be Epstein videos. So if it is true that Israel has some files on Trump, like Epstein videos, Trump molesting, allegedly Trump molesting children, we don't know. Allegedly, it is not verified. It is not confirmed, but rumor has it that Israel has a lot of information on Trump, or videos on Trump doing some things which Trump doesn't want the world to know. And they're using those videos or that information to blackmail Trump, to get him to do what he is doing currently. All right. So in his first term, President Trump was the president, authoritative, powerful president. He would talk and act, all right? What he said is what he did. But if you've noticed Trump in this second term, it's a different Trump. It's a different president. He says a lot of things. None of them come to pass. He said the war is over. Okay? He said we have destroyed Iran. He said the war is done. All right? Okay, he said the Strait of Hormuz will be open. None of that happened. He said we're gonna have regime change in Iran. All right, yes, they did kill Ayatollah. By killing Ayatollah, a new leader had to come. We can give him some credit into that. But when you look at Trump, he's flip-flopping. This Trump that we have now is not the same Trump which we had in his first term. All right. So there is that. And Trump did attack Candace Owens, Alex Jones, and Tucker Carlson. All right. And we're going to get into that. But now I want us to look at what actually is happening. What is the result, or what will be the result or the outcome of the continuation of this war, and also the Vatican ambassador being threatened by the Pentagon. All right. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for choosing to spend this hour with us. There are many channels and many things that you could be watching, but you chose to tune into All Things Podcast. We are grateful and we appreciate your spending time with us. All right, so the war continues, which means more killing, more death, more tragedy, more houses destroyed, more properties destroyed, more people displaced, okay? The war, the continuation of the war, it means sorrow, okay? And if Israel was God's nation, if Israel was a chosen nation, I don't believe a chosen nation will want to make a world a worse place. I believe God's chosen nation, God's chosen people will want peace in the world. But Israel is not for peace in the world. Israel is not for safety of the people of the world. Israel is a warmonger. Israel wants war. Israel wants death. Israel wants to steal the land of Palestine. So the continuation of war, it simply means more stealing of Palestinian land, more stealing in Gaza, more stealing of land in Lebanon, more stealing of other nations' territory by Israel. The continuation of war simply means that. The continuation of war means more prices, okay? More price hike, more expensive. Things are going to be more expensive in the whole world. So Israel is responsible for the lack of food globally, the lack of people are not able to afford like they used to because of the war. All that is Israel. So how can God's chosen nation make the entire world suffer like Israel is making the entire world suffer? How can the chosen people of God be engaged in a war that is affecting the global people, that is affecting people of the world? Prices of food are going up, prices of traveling going up, accommodation going up, everything is going up. And who is behind the prices going up globally? It's God's nation, God's people. I tell you, Israel cannot be God's chosen people. Israel cannot be God's chosen people. It once was, but it is no longer. All right. So this is what is happening. I can tell you, even people who supported Trump, right now they're saying this man is not the same. The president of the United States of America has been captured. The president of the United States of America, it's not a free man. It's a man under a dark cloud. It's a man who is being used by the powers that be. It's a man that is being blackmailed, a man that is put on a corner, a man who does not have freedom at this point. He is not a free president. The foreign powers are controlling him. That is why he's flip-flopping. That is why he's fighting with anybody who's exposing him for what he is, for who he is, who's exposing him and his work. All right. So the Vatican was threatened to choose a side. Now, when we talk of the Vatican, we're talking of the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church. And of all churches, the Pentagon decided that they will summon the Roman Catholic Church and tell the Roman Catholic Church to choose a side? All right. Why did they not summon the Presbyterian? All right. Why not summon the Baptist? Why not summon the Methodist? Okay. Why not summon the Lutheran? Why not summon the Adventist, the Seventh-day Adventist? Why not summon the Buddhist, the Hindus? Why not summon those, but you only summon the Roman Catholic Church and you tell them to choose a side? Why was that? Why is that? It's just a coincidence. What does the Roman Catholic Church have to do with this war? Many pastors have condemned the war. Many have condemned the war, but none of them were summoned by the Pentagon. Only the Roman Catholic Church, because the Pope the other day said this war is unjust. He called the war unjust, and he said a solution must be found. All right. And now, here is what is interesting about this war. Your mainstream media will never tell you what we're about to share with you, because your mainstream leader is owned and controlled by the very same people who are behind the war. Now, the plan of the war is a global takeover. This is a global takeover. This is a new world order. So the war, it's about a world new order, all right? And we've been saying this, we've been preaching this for the past month. And I'm sure some of you who are regular on the show are probably saying, oh man, we're sick and tired of that. But let me tell you something. Now, if we spoke about the papacy being part of the war, if we spoke about the papacy being behind Israel and the United States attacking Iran, before the Pope said a word, we said on this channel that the Pope needs the land of Israel. Okay, not only does he need the land of Israel, he needs all the biblical sites. Okay, all the biblical sites mentioned in the Bible, whether it's Palestine, whether it's Lebanon, whether it's Jordan, any biblical site, any location that is mentioned in the Bible, the Vatican, the papacy needs to control that land. Okay, and we said Israel was founded by the papacy. Israel is the papacy's making, is the papacy's creation, the papacy's baby. In other words, the Vatican is using Israel to acquire all the biblical land, the historical biblical land in the Middle East. Okay, so Israel is used. That's why Israel is stealing land. That's why, what does Israel wants to do with this land after they've acquired it, after they've stolen all the land? What is the purpose? What will Israel do with the land? Have you asked yourself that question? What is the purpose of stealing this land? What is the purpose of this unending expansion of Israel? They speak of the greater Israel, and when you look at the map of the greater Israel, it cuts across this land which contains the biblical sites. All right. So the purpose of stealing the land in Palestine, the purpose of stealing the land in Lebanon, the purpose of stealing the land, it's so that the papacy can own this land in the Middle East. It's so that the Vatican can control this land, so that when they build the third temple in Israel, in the Middle East, and the Pope is it's paraded as the man of peace in the Middle East, okay? Because the crisis in the Middle East will continue, and as the crisis in the Middle East continues, a time is going to come where there will be a call or a cry for a man of peace, okay? When the time comes for a cry for a man of peace, a man who will bring about peace in the Middle East, a man who will bring about order in the Middle East. I can tell you for free, it will not be Pakistan, all right? It will not be UAE, it will not be Saudi Arabia, it will not be the neighboring countries that will bring about peace in the Middle East. What Pakistan is doing, it's a start, it's an introduction of outside powers to mediate on this war. The real man who has been planning this It's the Pope of Rome. The Pope of Rome is the man who will bring about peace in the Middle East. But for him to come into the Middle East and bring about peace, he will be a man who's speaking on behalf of God. As this man who speaks on behalf of God, he needs to have control of the Holy Land. He needs to have control of the Holy Land so that as he speaks on behalf of God, or as he speaks as God, he will be standing upon the land which many people believe to be the Holy Land. And that land is Israel in the Middle East. So this is why the expansion is going on. They want to take all the biblical sites, okay? All the biblical sites in the Middle East. Israel must control those sites, must have those sites, so that when the Pope of Rome comes in the picture as the man of peace in the Middle East, he will be standing on what many people regard as the Holy Land. So nobody will oppose what the Pope will be saying from the Holy Land, because it will appear as if he's speaking on behalf of God from the Holy Land, from the holy nation, from the chosen people's land. And the Pope will appear as a chosen vessel in the last days, a chosen man by God to bring about peace in the world, not only in the Middle East. Remember, the crisis will escalate globally. This will be a global crisis. This is going to be a global crisis, and the Pope will come as a peacemaker in the Middle East, and not only a peacemaker in the Middle East, but a peacemaker globally. And guess what? He will be speaking from the so-called chosen nation, from the so-called holy nation, the land of Israel. Okay? The land of Israel. And no one will be able to oppose him. No one will be able to oppose him. No one in the Middle East. In the Middle East, no one will be able to oppose him, because he will have brought about peace in the Middle East. And everybody will be looking to him as some sort of a savior. So this is why the Vatican has now been introduced to this war. Welcome to All Things Podcast. I am your host, Nazi. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you're watching us for the first time, subscribe to the channel. If you are a regular member, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for coming back again. Analyzing the war, okay? Analyzing the war with a global and futuristic analysis, because what they're doing today, they're preparing for tomorrow. So when we analyze the war, we need to analyze it with a futuristic analysis, okay? Because they are planning. What they're doing today, the war today, it's a preparation for tomorrow, what they're going to do tomorrow. And when I say tomorrow, not literally tomorrow, but future, okay? So this war, it's not only about what is currently happening. A foundation is being laid for a one world government. As this foundation is being laid for a one world government, the plan is that many people will lose their lives, okay? Many governments will be taken over, okay? Many governments will be taken over. Many regime will be changed. There will be a lot of regime change. There will be a lot of death. There will be a lot of hunger. There will be a lot of killing for this new world order to come in. So the Vatican being told that the USA has a strong military and they can do whatever they want. Many people view that as an attack to the Roman Catholic Church, as an attack to the Vatican. I will tell you for free, it is not an attack to the Vatican. That's what they want you to think. This was a way of introducing the Vatican in the war. This was the way of introducing the papacy in this war. Remember, we said the Bible told us about the 7 world empires. 7 world empires. The first world empire was the Babylon Empire. The second was the Medes and the Persians. The third was Greece, led by Alexander. Okay, these are world empires. The fourth world empire was the Roman Empire. Okay. And the fifth world empire was the papacy, which rose out of the ashes of the Roman Empire, the papacy, the Roman Catholic Church, all right? And the sixth empire was the French Revolution, which dethroned the Pope, okay? And the seventh world empire is the United States of America. So what the United States of America is doing, It's biblical. It's prophesied in the Bible that this is what the United States of America will do. And what is it that the United States of America must do? The United States of America needs to have control of the entire world. The United States of America will control the entire world, the entire world. You think, man, that is impossible. It is not impossible. It is possible. The United States must control all nations under the heaven. And you say, brother, you are dreaming. I am not dreaming. I am not dreaming. The United States of America must and will control all nations under the sun. Okay, let's give you an example of this happening. Do you know the organization called the United Nations? Do you know the United Nations? What is the purpose of the United Nations? And where are the headquarters of the United Nations? Is the United Nations not headquartered in New York, in the USA? All right. So the United Nations, the United Welcome Ups, and Zuned Asmal, welcome to the two of you, and welcome to all of you who are watching us. I can see we are having 64 people watching us live. Welcome to All Things Podcast. Subscribe to the channel if you're joining us for the first time, and if you are joining us the second time, the third time, thank you for choosing us again. So the United Nations is headquartered in the United States of America. Now, who controls the United Nations? The United Nations is controlled by the Pope, the very same Pope whom it is said that the Trump administration threatened. You understand? These people are working together, but they want to appear in the media as if they're fighting. They want to appear in the media as if Trump's administration is attacking the Pope. That's what they want you to think, okay? That's what they want you to think. And the plan is that they want to tell Catholics, they want to tell Christians to rise and defend the Pope. And as Catholics and Christians and some Christians rise and defend the Pope, then the Pope is now put on the spotlight. And how is the Pope put in the spotlight? The Pope is put on the spotlight because the Pope is saying the war is unjust, the war is unnecessary, stop the war, let's sit down and let's talk. So the Pope already is now paraded or appears as a man of peace. That's the agenda. That's what they want. They want the world to see the Pope as the man of peace. And how can they make the world see the Pope as the man of peace? There must be a crisis. Remember, guys, we are operating chaos, order out of chaos. We create chaos so that we can bring about order. So currently, nobody knows the Pope. Nobody knows the role of the Pope in this war, okay? Nobody knows. And how can the Pope now be introduced in this war so that the Pope can begin to be seen as the leader who loves peace, as a leader who loves peacemaking, and who tells the world to stop the war, who tells the world to come together and unite and find ways that are amicable, find ways that are easy, without killing, without death, without war, without bombs, without missiles, okay? So the Pope or the Vatican or the Papacy has been introduced to the world, and the world is sleeping. They don't see that the Pope has been introduced. And why is the Pope necessary? It's because according to prophecy, when the United States of America has gained control of all the nations of the world, the United States of America will hand over this power or this control to the papacy, the Roman Catholic Church. And then the Roman Catholic Church will become the world empire, like it did from 538 AD to 1798. History repeats itself. If you did not know, the Roman Catholic Church ruled the world from 538 AD to 1798. The church was controlling the state. The church was controlling the state, not only in Europe, but globally, because this was a world empire. The papacy was a world empire. It had dominance all over the world. That is why all over the world, people are keeping Sunday as the day of worship. How did the world become? How did the world come about into worshiping on Sunday? It's because the regime that changed the day of worship from Saturday, the Sabbath day, was the Roman Catholic Church. And the Roman Catholic Church ruled the entire world, okay? And so when the Romans sent their missionaries, when the Romans, wherever they went, okay, Christianity was there, but because they were now in charge, they told Christians to change their day of worship from Saturday to Sunday. Failure to do so, they were persecuted, they were killed, they were martyred, all right? So right now, we are waiting for the United States to gain control of the entire world. And when the United States has gained control of the entire world, then the United States will hand over this power to the papacy, to the Vatican, and the Pope of Rome will become the leader of the one world government and the leader of the one world government and one world religion. This is the plan. Not what the mainstream media is telling you, not what the mainstream media is selling to you, telling you that this administration is attacking Catholics or this administration is attacking the Pope. No, they're not attacking the Pope. They're introducing the Pope in this war. They're introducing the Pope because what is the role that the Pope is supposed to play? The role that the Pope is supposed to play in this war is the peacemaker role. And for the Pope to play the peacemaker role in this war, he needs to be introduced in a hostile manner. He needs to be introduced as if he's being attacked so that he can begin his role as a peacemaker. That is why, and that is the only reason we are talking about the Vatican, we are talking about the Pope in this war. That's the only way. Or anything else, it's nonsense. Anything else is garbage. Because prophecy has told us so. And prophecy has never been wrong. Prophecy told us that Babylon will be the first kingdom. Babylon was the first kingdom. Prophecy told us that the Medes and the Persians will be the second kingdom. The Medes and the Persians indeed were the second kingdom. The prophecy told us that Greece will be the third kingdom. And yes, Greece was the third kingdom led by Alexander the Great. That was prophecy. It told us that Rome will be the fourth kingdom. Indeed, Rome was the fourth kingdom. Worse with Rome, the prophecy told us that Rome will rule the world for 1,260 years. And indeed, Rome ruled the world for 1,260 years from 538 AD to 1798 AD. Sweet fulfillment of prophecy. And prophecy told us that papacy will receive a deadly wound, and the French Revolution came and gave the papacy a deadly wound by taking the Pope into captivity. Remember, the papacy was not destroyed. The papacy, Babylon was destroyed, Medo-Persia was destroyed, Greece was destroyed, pagan Rome was destroyed, but papacy was not destroyed. It received a deadly wound, which means the papacy, the papal system is still intact in the world today. It was never removed. It was never destroyed. That is why the Bible says the deadly wound of the papacy will be healed. And when the deadly wound is healed, the papacy will come back into power, okay? And what we see today, it's a preparation for the papacy to come back to power. The Trump administration, the Pentagon, and the Vatican are not fighting. They are working together. This needs to happen so that the Pope can be introduced as the man of peace. Welcome. This is All Things Podcast. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us or joining us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Help the channel grow. We wish to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. We want to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Please subscribe to the channel, help the channel grow. And feel free to comment if you think we are misrepresenting the matters. You are free to comment. This is not a one-way conversation. It's a two-way conversation. If you have any please put your additions in the chats. You've got questions, pose your questions in the chat. Let us have a conversation. Let us have a conversation. And again, I appreciate you watching us every day. I appreciate you taking your time to tune in and to listen to us. Subscribe to the channel. So the mainstream media will never give you proper analysis, because they are not required to give you proper analysis, because should they give you proper analysis, you will start questioning the acts, you will start questioning the war, you will start questioning whatever is happening, because you will realize that these things do not make sense. James Comfort 2522, James Comfort 2522 says, praise the Lord, dear brother James from India. James from India, thank you watching us from India. Thank you, Master James. All right, so again, let me repeat. The powers that be, they create chaos, okay? And out of that chaos, they bring about peace, okay? So they create chaos. What is the purpose of the chaos? Is to bring about peace, or to bring about a certain change. That change is called peace. So order out of chaos. So they create chaos, and then they bring about order out of that chaos, and that order is what we refer to as the New World Order. So each time there is a chaos, that chaos is reshaping to the New World Order. Remember 2 weeks ago or a week ago, the Russian foreign minister told us that what we see happening in Iran, it's a reshaping of the New World Order. He said that this reshaping may look like disruption, but he said it is not disruption, it is necessary for the reshaping of the New World Order. If there are still some of you today who still think that the New World Order concept is a conspiracy theory, I pray that you wake up out of your sleep. If there's anybody who believes that there will never be a one world government, I pray that you wake up out of your sleep. If there's some of you who still believe that the one world religion, it's a conspiracy theory, I pray that you wake up out of that slumber. This is what they want you to think. This is what they want you to believe. Whereas everything that has to do with the New World Order is in the pipeline. It's in the pipeline, okay? It is in the pipeline, all right? So this is what is actually going on. So the Vatican has been unleashed. The Pope has been unleashed. From henceforth, you'll hear a lot about the Pope. You'll hear the voice of the Pope from henceforth. It may be from weeks to come, months to come, but I can tell you from henceforth, you will hear the Pope. And when the Pope speaks, every media house will be covering the Pope. When the Pope speaks, all Catholics, and even many Christians will stand behind the Pope, and they will see the Pope as the world leader, world religious leader. And they will thank the Pope, they will praise the Pope, they will say, we need more men like the Pope, men who love peace, men who loves, hey, I'm telling you, you are to see something. And I'm telling you, mark this day and save this video, share the video, and when it happens, I want you to come back to this video and listen to it carefully, because all that we're mentioning and all that we're saying in this video will still be fulfilled, okay? It is still going to be fulfilled. I speak here based on prophecy. This is what prophecy has told us. Like when we say the United States of America must own and control all nations of the world. Let me explain how that is happening. Not how that is going to happen. How that is happening, because it is already happening. It is already happening. Let me remind us. So this is what is happening, and this is how it is happening. You know that Donald Trump, we say Donald Trump has been captured, okay? We say the White House has been captured. It has been captured by the Catholics, Catholicism, the Jesuits, the Freemasons, Catholics, billionaires, the Jewish billionaires, okay? Now, this is from the Project 2025, okay? When Trump was elected as the president, he was given Project 2025. This Project 2025 manual is what Donald Trump is implementing. The plans according to the Project 2025, and the document I'm talking about, it can be easily downloaded from Google, okay? Just go to Google and type Project 2025 and download this document. What I'm about to say, it's there in black and white. And what I'm about to say is what Donald Trump is implementing, okay? So we speak what we know. We are not guessing what we're saying. That's why we speak with authority, because we're not thinking. It's evidence, it's what is out there in the public. But because the people who are supposed to be analysts, okay, the analysts are not analyzing, okay, the news anchors are not anchoring. Those who are supposed to be investigators do investigative journalism. They're not doing investigative journalism. So that's why we're stepping in, because we see that the masses are being deceived day in, day out, okay? So in that Project 2025, they identified 5 enemies of the United States of America. And the 5 enemies of the United States of America was Venezuela, okay? Venezuela, Iran, China, Russia, North Korea, okay? I will name them again. The 5 enemies of the United States: Venezuela, Iran, China, Russia, North Korea, okay? You and I know today that Venezuela has already been taken. Venezuela has already been taken, captured by the United States of America. In other words, this enemy has already been subdued. Venezuela has already been subdued. Iran, today they are busy in Iran. They are busy bombing Iran. And yesterday we explained why Israel is interested in Iran and why United States of America is interested in Iran. Let me repeat myself, okay? So Israel wants to be a superpower in the Middle East. Israel wants to be a bully in the Middle East. So Israel sees Iran as a threat to its ambitions, to its mission. So Israel wants to disarm Iran. So when Israel has disarmed Iran, then Israel can be the bully in the Middle East. Israel can do whatever it wants in the Middle East. It can continue stealing land in Palestine, stealing land in Gaza, stealing land in Lebanon, stealing land wherever, whatever that Israel wants to do. It can do it for free, because no nation in the Middle East can be able to stand and fight or rebuke Israel. So that is why Israel is interested in disarming of Iran, so that Israel can be the powerhouse of the Middle East. Okay, that is what Israel wants in Iran. Okay, what does the United States of America want in Iran? The United States of America wants the oil of Iran. And not only do they want the oil in Iran, they want to control the strait. They want to control the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, they want to control the Strait of Hormuz, because the Strait of Hormuz is responsible for 20% of the world's oil. And Iran controls it, and Iran has lots and lots of oil. So the United States wants that oil of Iran and wants the Strait of Hormuz, because once they control the Strait of Hormuz, they control the oil of the Middle East. So America wants to control the oil in the Middle East. Israel wants to control the army or the military. It wants to be the superpower in the Middle East. Okay, so this is what this war is all about. It is not about the nuclear in Iran. That is a lie. That's what they want us to know. This is what we're saying, that the mainstream media is not doing investigative journalism. No more investigative journalism, because it does not make sense. The whole world knows there is no nuclear in Iran. The whole world knows that Iran was never a threat to any nation in the Middle East. Iran has never started a war. Iran has never colonized anybody. Iran has never done anything evil in the Middle East. Everybody knows. Even when Iran they're lying about Iran having mass weapons of destruction, nobody has ever seen this weapon. Okay, so it is calculated to make us blind, not to see the real picture, not to see what exactly is going on. Okay, so when you listen to the mainstream media, don't just take whatever they're saying. Okay, maybe 10% of what they're saying, they can be right, but 90% is what they want you to think. It's what they want you to know. It's what they want you to believe. It is not the reality. Okay, so the reality, it's about oil, it's about the Strait of Hormuz, it's about disarming Iran so that Israel can be the superpower of the Middle East. And Israel wants to steal more land. If you look at the map of the greater Israel, if you look at the map of the greater Israel, it goes beyond the land of Israel. It covers lands that they can only get them by fighting, that they can only get the land by war. All right? So this is exactly what is happening. And media houses are not reporting that Israel is stealing land. Many media, mainstream media, is not reporting that Israel is stealing land, Israel is dislocating people, Israel is doing evil things. They're not reporting that. Why? Because the people behind the war owns these media outlets. Rumor has it that the Jews have been buying out all media outlets, or most of them. Most of them are owned by the Jews. So if you're working for the Jews, how can you speak bad about the Jews? You can never speak bad about the Jews because you're working for them. They pay your salary. They put bread on your table. You go to work, you're working for the Jews. How can you speak evil of the Jews? This is why we have a compromise with our media people. This is why many of the journalists are compromised. They see the truth, but they cannot present the truth, because should they present the truth, then they will lose their jobs. This is a war. This is a war. Remember, the plan of the global elites, the plan of the global elites. By the way, just a side note, rumor has it that the Bilderberg group, it's meeting, okay? These rich billionaires, these rich people that we don't even know, I'm told that they are meeting, okay? The Bilderberg groups are meeting, and in their meeting, all right, let me read it for you. It says here, the shadow rulers meet again. Bilderberg 2026 participants and agenda revealed. So these Bilderberg groups is the world's most powerful predators are back behind closed doors at the ultra-secretive Bilderberg conference with no press, no minutes, no accountability, just bankers, billionaires, warlords, tech tyrants, media gatekeepers deciding your future. Okay, so the Bilderbergs are meeting. The Bilderberg group, these are the people who controls the world. They're meeting as we speak. What do you think they're talking about? They're meeting. What do you think they're talking about? They're talking about the new world order. They're talking about reshaping of the world. You and I are sitting down, listening to Fox News, listening to CNN, listening to whatever news that is our source of information, being misled day in, day out. Chase X2Q says America has no credibility left because of Trump. That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think, that America has no credibility left because of Trump, so that you are not able to look beyond what Trump is doing. All right, we understand. It, to the naked eye, it looks as if Trump is a failure. To the naked eye, it looks as if Trump is the horrible president, is the worst president. But if you look at what Trump is achieving, he's achieving more than any president has ever achieved globally. When you look at it, the reason Trump is seen as the worst president, or as a president who is not doing much, is because what Trump is doing currently, it's not benefiting the United States of America. But what Trump is doing today, its focus is on the global control. And many people are failing to see this. What Trump is doing, it has nothing to do with the United States of America. The United States of America as a nation, it's not benefiting anything from what Trump is doing. But the United States as a nation, it's benefiting global control, okay? Global control. Because the United States of America has now in its pocket Venezuela. And many Americans, they have no idea the importance of Venezuela in Trump's pocket, okay? The importance of Venezuela in the pocket or in the palm of Trump. Many do not understand that. Even globally, analysts, they don't understand the importance of the USA having captured Venezuela. They don't understand that. It is powerful. It has to do with global authority, global control. Same as United States attacking Iran. It has nothing to do with a short-term benefit for the United States. It's a long-term benefit in the future for global takeover. All right. So for an American, when they're looking at the actions of Trump, Trump is a failure. Trump is a worst president because they don't understand what this president is doing. I'm telling you, this president has been captured. This president is doing the work of the papacy, the work of the Jesuit, the work of the Masons, the works of the Bilderberg group, the work of the rich billionaires, the movers and shakers of the world, the people who are running the world. Trump is working on behalf of those powerful people. And those powerful people have an agenda, and that agenda is a one world government. And Trump is fulfilling that like nobody's business. And people don't realize that because you are not analyzing it with a global eye. You need to put on your international, your global, your world goggles, your world spectacles, your world glasses. Remove sunglasses, remove reading glasses, put on international political analysis glasses. Well, Trump is not a dictator. Trump is being controlled by the leaders of the world. Trump, if the world is led by 5 families, Trump is controlled by those 5 families. If the world is led by the Bilderberg group, Trump is controlled by that group. If the world is controlled by the Jesuit, Trump is controlled by the Jesuit now. If the world is run and controlled by the Freemasons, Trump is under the direct control of those people. That's why what Donald Trump is doing, it has no benefit, it has no immediate benefit to the United States of America. And many people are misunderstanding Trump. And the media outlet is there to make sure that we don't follow what Trump is exactly doing. Because if we do follow, our eyes will be open. We'll begin to see the real reasons behind each and every move, behind each and every action of the President of the United States of America. And we'll begin to question on whose behalf is Donald Trump doing this. They don't want us to reach the truth. Chess says you might have to open your eyes, my guy. Well, Chase, I don't have a problem with opening my eyes. I don't have a problem with opening my eyes, and I'm very willing to be convinced otherwise. But for you to convince me otherwise, you need to give me information that will make me say or see that what I'm saying, it's not correct. I need information, because according to the information that is out there right now as I speak to you, according to the information that is there right now as you and I are speaking, the White House is captured. Everybody in America agrees, and they know that the White House is captured. And who captured the White House? Who captured the White House, Chase? Do you know who captured the White House? Do you know on whose behalf is Trump working? If you do not know, brother Chase, if you do not know who Trump is working for or who's controlling Trump, then between you and I, somebody needs their information to get their information correct. We know Trump agreed on a ceasefire on Tuesday. He posted it on his social, Truth Social, that the 10 points of Iran are workable. Okay, he agreed that Lebanon and Iran must stop being bombed. He agreed. Donald Trump agreed. When the handlers, when the people who controls him, in fact, Benjamin Netanyahu called Donald Trump and told him, I'm not going to be part of this deal. The deal is off. I'm going to bomb Lebanon. What did Trump do? He made a U-turn. He said the 10 points are destroyed, are thrown in a garbage bin. All right? Why? After agreeing, it's because the handlers told him, right, hey, Trump, we did not send you. We did not tell you. We did not tell you to agree on a ceasefire. Chase, I have no time to spoon feed you information, Chase. If you believe I'm wrong, you are the one who must give us information contrary to what we're telling you. All right, Chase, if you believe what we're saying it's wrong, the ball is in your court to show us the right information. The right information. You need to prove, Chase. You say the information we have is wrong. Give us your information. That's what we want. And thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching us for the first time. If you're joining us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Help the channel grow. We wish to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. And we are analyzing the war in Iran, analyzing the attack, the so-called attack on the Vatican. All right. And we are saying that, okay, let me take Chase. Chase says, American news said Trump only has a 33% approval rating. That's pathetic for a president. He's going to lose the midterms. Brother, that is not what we're talking about. That is not what we're talking about. Trump has the lowest approval. You are correct. He has the lowest approval. I think 33, I think he moved from 33, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was 72% were rejecting him this morning. I think 72 were rejecting him this morning. So I think he's sitting somewhere at 28. That is happening. That is correct. You are correct, Chase, in that regard. The approval of Trump is in its lowest ever. Lower than Joe Biden, lower than Jimmy Carter, lower than any president in the USA, okay, in their second term. So the approval rating of Trump is the lowest ever. That is correct. You are correct. And this is what I've been saying, Chase, that to the United States of America, the actions of Trump are not benefiting them because the actions of Donald Trump have nothing to do with domestic issues of America. It has everything to do with global, okay? So Trump is doing global things, okay? It has nothing to do with the domestic situations of the United States of America. Trump is dealing with global things, okay? And therefore, when the Americans look at what Trump is doing, they say he's not doing anything for us. Look at everybody who was Make America Great Again. Trump has divorced the idea of making America again. He's not doing that now. Trump is dealing with global situations. You are correct. The Americans are not benefiting anything from Donald Trump. That's what we said in the beginning. But what Trump is doing, he's doing something greater than any president of the United States has ever done. Trump is gaining control globally. Trump is gaining control globally. His mission is to gain control globally. Trump does not care about the midterms. Trump does not care about the third term. Trump has no interest. I said it before that when Trump, in his first term, he had freedom. In his first term, America was first. In his first term, nobody was bullying Trump. Nobody was controlling Trump. But in this second term, right now, Trump is not an independent president. Trump is not a free president. Trump is captured. Trump is controlled. How did he win? How did he win the second term? He won the second term through the promises that he will do whatever the powers powers that be will want him to do should he be elected. He was given a mandate to fast track the new world order. And Trump, in this second term, he's not busy about the domestic issues of the United States of America. He's not busy about midterms. He doesn't care about midterms. He doesn't care about re-election or whatever. All he cares about is fulfilling the mandate of the global elites, fulfilling the mandate of the world new order. That's what Trump is all about. That's what Trump is all about. Says Trump caused a global energy crisis, my guy. Yes, you are correct. Trump caused a global crisis, my guy. Remember the principle: you create order out of a crisis. You need to create a crisis. Then you use that crisis to bring a solution. That's exactly what Trump is doing. And Trump did not create a crisis in the United States. He created a crisis globally. That's my point. I'm saying Trump is busy dealing with global situations, global takeover by the United States of America. That's what Trump is doing. That's what Trump is doing. That's what Trump is doing. Okay? Most major MAGA podcasts have left Trump and jumped ship. Tucker, Candice, Theo, Vaughn took their multi-million fan base with them. You are correct. You are correct. Why did the entire world turn their back on America? Brother, this is what we've been saying, that the world, it's fed information by the mainstream media. The world doesn't see what Trump is doing because the world is having one God, one currency. Exactly, that is the new world order. That is what Trump is dealing with. Okay. Maybe to come down to this Chase. This is what is happening. Okay, so you have the BRICS nation. Okay, the BRICS nation, they were trying to get a BRICS currency. Okay, and should the BRICS nation get or have a BRICS currency, in other words, they will begin to dump the dollar. And as they dump the dollar, what happens to the dollar? The dollar will lose value. So Trump went ahead and controlled the most important natural resource. Trump wants to control the most important resource, which is oil. And when Trump controls the most important resource, which is oil, then Trump will be able to keep the dollar strong. And remember, the only way the United States of America can control the world is through the dollar. Okay, so Trump is in the right track right now. The global crisis that you agree that, okay, yes, the dollar is backed by oil. So the dollar is backed by oil, the petrodollar. You understand that? So Trump is protecting the dollar, all right? But you will not be told that, because should you be told that the Trump is protecting the dollar, you will not protecting the dollar from what? Okay? Then you will lose, you will start being wise, you will start questioning, you will start looking at the war. So the war is about protecting the dollar. Okay, and it will not make sense. So you are not given the true mission or the true reasons for the war. Okay, so Trump is doing a global crisis, and when Trump is busy with a global crisis, we're gonna have a global chaos, and they will use the global chaos to bring about peace. Okay, to bring about peace. He's protecting the petrodollar. Hey, buddy, he's protecting the petrodollar. He is protecting the petrodollar. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching us for the first time. Please subscribe to the channel, help the channel grow. And I want to thank you who have already subscribed. I can see that our numbers have gone up. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you so much for choosing to spend time with us. All right, now this is what is happening. Donald Trump at this in this second term, the support of Candace Owen is gone. The support of Tucker Carlson is gone. The support of Alex Jones is gone. Alex Jones is gone. All those people who were supporting MAGA, they've abandoned Trump. Even Trump himself, he has attacked them. Let me read something from Trump. This is what Trump said in his Truth Social. This is what Trump said in his Truth Social concerning Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones. This is what he said about them today. This is what he said. He said, I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon, because they have one thing in common: low IQ. So Trump is even attacking Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, and Alex Jones. He says Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, they have low IQ. Okay, this is the same Trump who years ago was praising Candace Owens, praising Tucker Carlson. Remember Trump? He did an interview with Tucker Carlson. He said to the crowd, is this not the best interviewer? Is not this the best interviewer in the United States? Referring to Tucker Carlson. But today he says Tucker Carlson has a low IQ. Candace Owens, low IQs. Megyn Kelly, low IQ. Alex Jones, low IQ. He says they are stupid people. They know it. Their families knows it. And everyone else knows it too. So Donald Trump says Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones have low IQ and they're stupid, and their family knows it, their friends knows it, everybody knows it. This is the same Donald Trump who was praising them before. Now that they've realized that Trump is not putting America first. Remember, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, they are supporting putting America first. And Trump in this second term, he is not supporting. He's not mega. He's not making America great again. He's not putting America first again. And Chase says, you're rambling. Hey, Chase, I cannot be rambling. I'm reading what Trump is saying. This is Donald Trump in his Truth Social. Trump is saying, I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones. These are not my words. How can I be rambling when I'm simply reading a statement by Donald Trump? How can I be rambling when I'm simply reading a statement by Donald Trump? Come on, brother. You need to wake up out of your slumber. Well, whether Trump is lying or he's not lying, it doesn't matter. This is what Trump has said. We are reading. These are facts. This is what Trump has said. Whether he's lying or he's not lying, it's something we'll deal with later on, okay? I do not agree with Trump that Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Alex Jones have low IQ. I don't agree with that statement, but it is the statement of Donald Trump. Trump believes it. I don't believe it. Trump believes that Alex Jones has low IQ. Candace Owens, low IQ. Tucker Carlson, low IQ. Megyn Kelly, low IQ. Trump believes that today. As of today, Trump believes that. I don't believe it. I believe Alex Jones is one of the smartest broadcaster, one of the smartest interviewer, one of the smartest thinker, informative guy. You know, he's Alex show as the best of the best, informative, facts. Candace Owens, she's one of the sweetest, smartest, bravest young African women who speaks truth, who speaks facts, no low IQ. Megyn Kelly, one of the most prominent female person who speaks her mind without fear, without favor, all right? Okay, Tucker Carlson, one of the most vigorous, one of the most dangerous interviewer. So good, the best man for the job, okay? I watch them, I listen to them, I follow them. All four of them, they are the best in what they do. Okay, they're the best in what they do. Their intelligence is superb, all of them, all right? So what Trump says about them is what Trump thinks about them. And when we read what, Chase and Mehdi Hussein, brother, that's another guy. Facts, you are correct. Mehdi Hussein, another sharp mind, another brave man who does not let you go, who will embarrass you if you don't have your facts correct. Mehdi Hussein, you are correct. These people are the best in what they do. Trump is only attacking them because he does not like it that they're criticizing him. So Trump is only attacking them. Trump attacks anybody who does not sing praise for him. Okay, the moment they were supporting him, these were the buddies of Donald Trump. Tucker Carlson, buddy of Donald Trump. Candace Owens, Trump was praising Candace Owens at some point because she was in support of her. So it doesn't matter what Trump thinks about these people. We know who they are. We know what they do. We know what they are responsible for. Okay, we know what they're capable for. So the fact that Donald Trump says they have low IQ and we're sharing that information, it is not an endorsement of Trump's opinion. We do not endorse Trump's opinion. It remains the opinion of Trump, all right? It remains the opinion of Trump. He goes on to say they are stupid people. They know it. Their families knows it, and everybody else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They are nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. This is what he said about them. And we know that these are all lies. This is an angry president. Jim Kimmel, this is an angry president. This is a president who is attacking whatever and anybody. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what he says. He's just speaking. All right. This is what Alex Jones said. Alex Jones responded to Trump. Alex Jones responded to Trump. And by the way, there's a lady who said, I don't have time to respond to Trump. I don't have time for Trump. He is not right upstairs. That's what she said, literally. So this is what Alex Jones said in response. Alex Jones said, I am so sad for you, President Trump. I love and cherish the old Trump we fought for and were punished for supporting. But I will oppose the new Trump who has become a puppet of. So even Alex Jones realized that Trump has become a puppet. He says he loves the old Trump. The new Trump, they don't know who he is. Everyone who has common sense, everybody who knows the old Trump, the first term Trump, they know that the first term Trump was America first. The first term Trump was a mega Trump. This second term Trump, it's another Trump. And that is why we say this Trump has been captured by the powers that be. This Trump is not dealing with the domestic issues of the United States of America. This Trump is dealing with global situation. He is working for the new world order agenda. This is what this Trump is doing. Is busy with the world new order. Candace Owens is stupid, low IQ, and doesn't have what it takes. That's why she is a third-rate podcast and nobody is talking about and gets no views. Trump just said this about the person with top-ranked podcast in the world. We know Candace Owens' podcast is the top in the world. We know that. We know that Tucker Carlson gets millions of views. We know that. We know that. Alex Jones gets millions of views. We know that. So is Megyn Kelly. We know that. Trump is lying. All right. So this is what I need you to understand. When I read something, it is not that I agree with what I'm reading. I'm giving you information. We do not choose what to read. We do not choose what to place on the record. Anything that is newsworthy, it doesn't matter who is saying it. It doesn't matter who is talking about it. Joe Rogan, another best broadcaster with millions and millions of views. You correct. You understand? So the fact that Trump said something about Candace Owen, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones, and Tucker Carlson, and we're reporting on what Trump said, we are not promoting what Trump said. We are not agreeing with what Trump said. We are sharing information, because when we say Trump said this, we need to give you proof. So we're giving you proof. That's why when you say something, I'm saying to you, please give me proof of what you're saying. Give me reference of what you're saying. So we're just giving you reference of what Trump said. But we do not agree with Trump with regards to these four great broadcasters. All right. Stephen Thor, welcome, brother. Welcome, brother. Stephen Thor says, Trump a liar. Trump is a liar. Trump is a liar. He is the president. He is the president, but he is the president who lies. Remember, as much as he is a president, he's still human, okay? As much as he's a president, you know, Trump is a liar. Do you know that when Trump was being sworn in for his second term, he did not swear on the Bible? He did not swear on the Bible. He refused to place his hand on the Bible when Trump was sworn in. Do you remember? Did you watch it? He did not put his hand on the Bible. Why did you put his hand in the Bible? It's either Trump knows that the Bible is real, or Trump knows that he was about to break every rule in the Bible, he was about to live contrary to the Bible, or he was about to oppose it. Yeah, Stephen Thau says, I saw that. Yeah, he did not. He did not saw on the Bible. Okay, Underboss 25 says, my uncle is Chief Justice Supreme Donatus Okonjo in Nigeria. That's a Supreme Court judge, but higher. All right, Stephen says, I saw that. Underboss 25 says, Trump belongs to me, Lord. Trump belongs to me, Lord Beelzebub in human form. Okay, Jim Cole 6 says, it's illegitimately in office. All right, Stephen Thor says, because he is Antichrist. Underboss 25 says, Google cybersecurity employee replaying online. All right. So this is Trump. It's a president, but he's a liar. He's been lying. He lied about the ceasefire agreement. First, he said we accepted the 10 points proposal. When Netanyahu gave him a call and told him that's nonsense, Donald Trump changed tune and said we never agreed. So Trump is a liar. Not only just a liar, but a very bad one, because he lies today, he forgets. Trump can say three different things, three different opposing statements in 1 minute. Okay, that's how bad he is. Okay, North Anningal says, I saw that too, and no one has said anything. That yeah, Trump did not put his hand on the Bible when he was sworn in. He did not. And many people call Trump a Christian. How many Republicans brought in pastors to pray for Trump, saying Trump, they were even comparing Trump to Jesus. I think a day ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, a week ago, they were even comparing Trump to Jesus. That lady said, Jesus was betrayed, so Trump is betrayed. You know, Jesus was sold and Trump is being sold. I mean, like really saying Trump walked like Jesus has walked. I mean, a lot of garbage, a lot of nonsense. Stephen Thor says Trump's grandmother died on June 6 or 6. All right, Wena 0811. That was Paulo White. All right. So we know, all of us, that Trump cannot be trusted. Trump cannot be trusted. He says a lot of things. All right. Let's look at another. This is another word. All right. All right. So it says here, former secretary says here, Netanyahu came to Bush, came to Obama, came to Biden, and asked them to strike Iran. All of them refused. Only Trump agreed because Netanyahu probably has something on him. Okay, remember we told you 3 weeks ago that George W. Bush Obama and Joe Biden, all of them, Netanyahu asked them to bomb Iran. They all refused, okay? Only Donald Trump agreed. And rumor has it that Israel has some debt on Trump. That is why Trump is doing what he is doing. Like we're saying that Trump is captured. Trump is not a free president. Trump is not free in this second term. He is being controlled. Yeah, the Trump in the first term was a man in charge. The Trump in the first term was not bullied, was not controlled. He, even if he was controlled, he had an upper hand. He still had a say. But this Trump in this second term appears to have no say. He is controlled. Stephen Thaw says Epstein evidence. All right. Werner says hello. I said that on the chat on the top. He's being blackmailed by Russian and Israel. Yeah. Werner 00811. Trump is being blackmailed. Trump is being blackmailed. And this blackmail is so dangerous that Trump has abandoned the MAGA. Trump has abandoned America First. Trump has abandoned all his major grassroots, people who are supporting him. He doesn't care about them. He doesn't care about the Republican Party which elected him, whether they will win or they don't win. Trump is not concerned about that. Trump is concerned about doing the biddings of the people who are controlling him. And Trump is not dealing with domestic issues. He said it. What did he say? I think 4 days ago. He said that his administration, it's not dealing with, did he say daycare issues or something like that? I don't remember what he said. I don't remember what he said on the top of my head. He said his administration is not busy with that. But he was simply saying that he has no time to take care of Americans. The Americans must take care of themselves. The government is too busy with war. Yeah, I think that's what he said. He said the government is too busy fighting wars. They have no time to deal with daycare matters. They have no time to deal with people, protect people, no, feed people. He said, my administration is busy with war. And this war has nothing to do with the American citizen. This war has nothing to do with the day-to-day issues of the United States of America. For a month, billions and billions and billions of dollars have been spent on a war in which the United States citizen benefits zero, nothing. On the contrary, the U.S. citizens have died in the war. Sons and daughters have died in the war. They have been killed in the war. So America is losing billions of dollars and also losing lives, losing soldiers, losing men and women in the service because of this war. Donald Trump doesn't care. He is not doing it for you. All right. He is doing it for global control. Nevertheless, says Stephen Thaw, Jehovah has allowed him to be placed in office. We should accept this. Brother, if you ever spoken truth, that's the statement. That's the truth there. Nevertheless, Jehovah has allowed him to be placed in office, so we should accept that. He is in office. God has allowed him to be in office. And by the way, not only is Trump in office, but Trump is fulfilling prophecy in that office. Prophecies are being fulfilled by the presence of Donald Trump in that office. The new world order, it's coming. The new world order, it's ready. It's ready. The new world order, it's ready. And this is another reason that Trump wants the oil in Iran. Trump wants to control the Strait of Hormuz. Okay. Marco Rubio said, we won't have to talk about sanctions in 5 years because there will be so many countries transacting in currencies other than the dollar that we won't have the ability to sanction them. So the reason Trump is moving with speed to disrupt the movement of oil is because the BRICS nations, Russia, Brazil, China, they want to use their own currency to buy the oil. They want to dump the oil. And should these countries use their own currencies, then the United States of America will not be able to sanction them. And when the United States of America is not able to sanction them, then the United States of America cannot control their buying and selling. So in order to control their buying and selling, the United States of America must control the oil in the Middle East, must control the oil in Iran, control the Strait of Hormuz, so they can be able to control the buying and selling of the oil, so that they can continue to sanction. This is what the war is all about. This is what the war is all about. All right, this is what some news have been reporting with regards to the Vatican. Remember, we are saying the Vatican has been unleashed. We believe that the Vatican has been unleashed, okay? The Vatican has been unleashed. They say the Trump regime is at war with the Catholic Church. The Pope and the Church have been disrespected and attacked. This is unprecedented. And I tell you that this is what they want you to think. This is another mainstream media. This is it BBC? Is it Eyewitness News? Is it BBC? I'm not sure of which channel is this one, but they are saying that the Trump regime is at war with the Catholic Church. The Pope and the Church have been disrespected and attacked. This is unprecedented. This is what they want us to think. This is what they want us to think, that this Trump administration is attacking the Catholic Church, is attacking the Pope. No, 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 no. That is not the case. We are saying that the Vatican diplomats who were invited in the Pentagon, they were not, yes, they may have been told unpleasant words or told those statements, but the people behind the meeting, they want it to be so that it can appear as if this regime and the papacy are fighting. This regime and the papacy are not fighting. This regime and the papacy are friends. The Trump's regime and the Vatican are best buddies. They are friends, because the United States will gain all this control of the world, and the United States will hand over this power to the Roman Catholic Church, the papacy, the Vatican. So whatever Donald Trump is doing it on behalf of the Vatican, is doing it on behalf of the Pope. But in the public eye, they want it to appear as if the Vatican and the White House, they are fighting. They are not fighting. That's what they want us to think. That's why they want to get all Christians in the debate. They want to involve all Christians into this war. How can you involve Christians in this war? How can you involve Catholics into this war? Attack a figure whom the Christians believe, or whom the Christians believe is their leader. When you attack this figure and you look at the reasons why is this figure being attacked, is because he said the war is unjust, it's because he said the war must end, then they appear to be attacking him so that Christians or Catholics can rise in defense of the Pope. And the more Christians rise or Catholics rise in defense of the Pope, the more the Pope's voice is heard globally. The more the Pope's voice is heard globally as the man of peace, as the man who loves peace, as the man who hates war. This is the agenda. This is the plan. And we are falling into that trap. Says Vatican diplomats are being roasted in unpleasant and unconfrontational meetings, also unprecedented. No. This is what they want us to think. The United States has military power to do whatever it wants in the world. The Catholic Church better take its size. And it is true, the United States has the military power to do whatever it wants in the world. The military power of the United States, nobody can deny that. It is true. It's a true statement. The United States is present. The military of the United States of America is present in more than 80 countries in the world. So they can literally do whatever they want. The military of the United States is present in more than 80 countries of the world. They are powerful. Indeed, they can do whatever they want. That is true. It's not a lie. That is true. But the real truth is that the papacy is involved in this whole issue. It is a way of introducing the papacy in this. And if we're not careful, we'll be taken by this thing. All right, now let's talk about the ceasefire. Let's talk about the ceasefire. Let's talk about the ceasefire. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching us for the first time, and thank you for choosing to spend time with us. Subscribe to the channel, help us grow. We wish to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Now back to the ceasefire. All right, we are told that already the negotiators have been elected. All right, they have been chosen. We are told that the J.D. Vance is among of the people that will go to Pakistan to negotiate, and the foreign minister of Iran, it's one of them. But how can you, Stephen Thaw says the ceasefire won't last. Ceasefire won't last. Oh yeah, it did not last. It did not last. And Stephen Thaw, I said this on Tuesday, that the ceasefire, it's a fake one. The ceasefire does not make sense. And when I said this ceasefire, it's not a victory for Iran. It's not a victory for Iran. It's a victory for the United States of America. Some people said, I am under a spell. They said, why is this guy under a spell? Iran has won. America has lost. I said, America has not lost. Iran has not won. And when the news came that indeed the ceasefire, it's null and void, the same people were clapping hands and saying, my guy, how did you know it? How did you see it coming? I said, I saw it because I follow prophecy. My analyses are based on prophecy, are based on prophetic events on the book of Daniel and in the book of Revelation in the Bible. I don't expect you to believe the Bible. I don't expect you to believe in the Bible, but my analysis comes from the Bible. That's why we don't get things wrong. That's why we are always accurate, because we don't look at what is happening today. We look at what prophecy has said. Even though events looks like they are not in line with prophecy, we do not shift, we do not move, we stick to what prophecy has said. On Tuesday, it looked like prophecy was failing, but we stood our ground and say, prophecy says this is what is going to happen. And exactly, prophecy never failed me. It has never failed me ever since I believed in prophecy or used prophecy to do my analysis of global events, analysis of political international politics. It has never failed me. And so even at this point, 50,000 troops deployed in the Middle East. This isn't what you do if you are serious about peace. It's what you do if you are preparing to invade. How can you say we are having peace talk? How can we say we are going to talk about ceasefire and you are sending 50,000 troops? How can the United States say we want a ceasefire? We want a ceasefire. At the same line, they're sending 50,000 troops to the Middle East. What is wrong with this? What is wrong with this? What is wrong with this? It's because you cannot be telling Iran we want a ceasefire. Iran tells you one of the 10-point proposal is that your troops should vacate the Middle East. So one of the proposal is that your troops should leave the Middle East. And you are bringing about 50,000 more troops in the Middle East. You can see that the United States and Israel, they don't want the end of the war. We said it when the war began, that the war will only end when the United States of America has achieved its goal. What is the goal? Control of Iran. Okay, control of Iran. I know we analysts are divided. As analysts, political analysts, We are divided when it comes to whether there was a regime change in Iran or not. Okay, some say there was a regime change in Iran. Some say there was no regime change in Iran. You know, and this is what let me find that news. Let me find, this is what Iran said in BRICS News. BRICS News, this is what Israel is saying about Iran. Israel says the new Iranian regime is more extreme than its predecessor. So they're saying the new regime in Iran, it's more extreme than its predecessor. In other words, Israel is saying Ayatollah Khamenei was more reasonable than his son, was more reasonable. The government of Ayatollah was more reasonable. But this one, it's not. Okay? So when it comes to regime change, I think they did have regime change because Ayatollah is gone. There is new leadership in Iran. So there was a regime change. But this regime change, they were expecting it to surrender to the United States of America. They were expecting this regime to be, to be soft. But it appears that this regime is worse than that of Ayatollah. And until they have a regime that will be friends or friendly with the United States of America, or a regime that will be able to listen and obey and work together with the United States of America. By working together, they must allow US to control the oil in the Middle East. They must allow US to control the Strait of Hormuz. All right. That is not happening. And that has not happened. Okay. So this is one of the things I'm saying, that this Trump of today, he is controlled by people who are powerful, people who are pushing a world order, a new world order. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter at this point. You see, at this point, we don't care whether you believe in the new world order or you don't believe it. Whether you believe in the one world religion or you don't, one world government, whether you believe it or you don't, we do not really care, because we care about what prophecy says. That's why we are not moved by any opposition that comes, because we are not looking at what is happening today. We are looking at what is happening today. What does it have to do with the future? Okay, so the future is determined by the war today. The war in Iran is determining our future. All right, this is what is happening. All right, so in another news, Iran's delegation for US peace talk is still reportedly chilling in Tehran because of Israel's ongoing attacks on Lebanon. So it appears as if the Iran delegation, they're saying that they will not go to Pakistan until Israel stop bombing. How true is that? I am not sure, but this is what is being reported on the news, that the delegation of Iran is still chilling in Tehran because they said we cannot go and negotiate while Israel is still bombing Lebanon. And it's a fair thing. Senior researcher Abbas Aslan says Tehran is drawing a clear line, no talks until they stop. But it's not just that, The US shifted its positions on the agreed 10-point framework, and that's created a serious trust problem. Iran's been here before, being attacked twice mid-negotiation. At this rate, the delay in talks starting will be longer than the ceasefire lasted before Israel violated it. Yeah, so we are concerned, and that is from Al Jazeera. That is from Al Jazeera. All right. So it is what it is. The talks are now also being affected by the continuation of Israel's bombing. And by the way, why is Israel so adamant? Why is Israel so eager to bomb? The only reason Israel is doing this, okay, Israel is stealing land. Israel says they will stop when now acquired 10% of Lebanon's land. Anything, though Israel is in a war because they want to steal the land. Israel is never in a war because they're always stealing. They want to steal 10% of Lebanon's land. Like they're stealing land in Palestine, stealing land in Gaza, stealing land in Jordan. Wherever Israel is engaged in a war, they're there to steal the land. They're there to dislocate people. They're there to steal the land of the people they are taking. And many people call it the land of God, the holy nation. Israel, it's not God's chosen people. It was in the past, not today. All right. Stephen Thor says, Strait of Hormuz is like Schrodinger's cats. All right. Jehovah may step in eminently. Well, I can tell you that Jehovah will step in only at the second coming of Jesus Christ. What is happening now has to happen. It has been prophesied that is going to happen this way, and God cannot intervene. God allows prophecy to be fulfilled. God can only intervene to us individually when we know, because not only did God tell us what is going to happen, he also told us how to be safe, how to protect ourselves from the things that will be happening. All right. So God does not only give us prophecy, tells us that this is what is going to happen. He even tells us the solution, all right, of those who will not want to be a part of these things that are happening. Okay, so this is what is happening. All right, so the ceasefire is where it is. Talks will happen on Saturday. Talks will happen tomorrow. Talks are supposed to happen tomorrow, but it appears as if the Iranians are not yet in Pakistan, are not yet preparing, have not yet left for the talks, because Israel is still continuing to bomb Lebanon. Once they stop the bombings, Iran will now be on their way to the talks that are supposed to be happening. All right, that's it on the ceasefire. That's it on the ceasefire. So the ceasefire will only last until, listen guys, remember, the people who controls the war, they don't care about casualties. They don't care about people dying. They don't care about the prices of gas, prices of food going up. They don't care how many people die. They don't care how many people gets destroyed. They don't care about that. By the way, we spoke a week ago that the powers that be are already killing us human beings. You know, they want the population to be reduced. They're saying we are too many on earth. There are too many human beings. They want to reduce the number of human beings. And we shared with you last week that they're using 6 ways, okay, to reduce the population. I said the first one is they're poisoning our food, okay? Our food are vaccinated, okay? Yeah. When 0811 says, yeah, Bill Gates and the Rockefellers, to name a few, exactly. They're poisoning our foods, okay? Vaccinating your fruits, vaccinating your veggies, genetic modified fruits, genetic modified veggies, grains, seeds, legumes, nuts, everything, it's been genetically modified. As if that is not enough, even injected with vaccination, being sprayed with dangerous chemicals, cancer-causing chemicals that will bring about sickness in our body. So they are doing depopulating us through food we eat. So they're poisoning our food. That's the first one. The second one, they're poisoning our water. Okay, our waters are poisoned. Okay, our waters are poisoned. I mentioned to you that a good example in South Africa, traces of ARVs are discovered in the water, in the tap waters. Okay, in South Africa's tap water, ARVs were traced, okay, in the water. And I ask a question, What does ARVs have to do with water? What does ARVs have to do with water? What are ARVs doing in the water system? So if you are using tap water, it is highly unlikely that your water is not poisoned. So all of us, the waters we're drinking, tap water, is poisoned. Okay, and this poisoning is used to kill us slowly, to make sure that nobody reaches 50. Majority of people will not reach the age of 50. Majority of people are dying young. Pregnant women are having miscarriages. It's the food, it's the water. Okay, many people you've got your sperm low counts. Okay, your sperms are not strong enough, your sperms are being weakened. Now they're attacking our reproductive system through the poisoning of the food and through the poisoning of the water. This is what they're doing. Stephen Thor, praise God, you are 55. And remember, when we're saying they're poisoning the food, poisoning the water, we're not saying that everybody who eats this food will die immediately, because God has blessed us with different immune system. Some immune system are stronger than others. Some immune system are able to resist, okay? But even though they're able to resist, they cannot resist forever. So some people have weaker immune system. This food poisoning, this water poisoning quickly destroys them, quickly attacks them. Some, they've got strong immune system, okay? And their immune system are able to fight with whatever poison and whatever disease, whatever pathogens in these food that that contains this poison. All right, so they're poisoning our food, poisoning our water. Thirdly, they're poisoning the atmosphere. We do all see planes spraying chemicals on the sky. All right, do you think those chemicals are good for your food? Do you think those chemicals are good for the trees, good for the fruits, good for your garden, good for your farms? Those chemicals that are spraying are meant to make sure that the trees, the fruit trees we have, becomes unfruitful. They're made to make sure that the gardens we have, the farms we have, we don't yield enough produce. They're made to slow down and destroy our plants, our trees, from producing enough food so that we can starve due to lack of food. That is the third one. All right. The fourth one, they're using war. They can just send a bomb anywhere and many people will be destroyed, especially in cities. They use war. They use medicine. Stephen Thor says, are you vaccinated? No, I am not vaccinated. I am not vaccinated, Mr. Stephen. I am not vaccinated. And Mr. Stephen, being 55, you've survived a lot. You've survived a lot. I'm not 55. I'm far from being 55. You've survived a lot, and your health should be in your hand. You should control your health. You understand? So I am not vaccinated because I don't see a reason for vaccines. You understand that? So yeah, I'm not vaccinated. I did not take the vaccine, any form of any vaccine. All right, so they're killing us using war, killing us. yeah. Stephen Thor, good. You refuse the vaccine. Yeah. And the thing with this vaccine and vaccination, I mean, really, if you are not sick, I believe we take medication because we are sick. All right, we take medication because and never had COVID-19. Yeah, well, we praise God for protection. We thank God that you never vaccinated, you never heard COVID-19. We thank God for that. Praise God for that. And the thing with vaccination, only sick people take medication. Only sick people need medication. Why do you mass vaccinate? Why do you vaccinate everyone when it's not everybody who's sick? Some things, they just become suspicious. When you see any medication that is good for you, it's never given for free. Oh yes, oh yes. I'm sure people are taking notes. I'm sure people are taking notes, taking notes, taking notes. It says, I take high strength vitamin D. Yeah, yeah. You understand that? You understand that? So I don't believe in mass medication or mass vaccination. Any medicine that must be taken in high numbers. People, or everybody should take those medication. Vaccine for these, bad flu, vaccine for this. I don't believe that. I believe because I understand that every vaccination contains a cold virus of the see, when they say they are vaccinating you against bad flu, that vaccine contains bad flu. When they were vaccinating people with the pestilence 19, that vaccine contained pestilence 19. You know, they are just injecting it to you before you receive it. So when you get vaccinated, you are simply getting that virus in your system. So your system has a relationship with that virus. So when you get it, your system already has it. The difference is that when they inject it to you, when they inject it to you, it's as if your body becomes one with it. But when you get it from the air, it's like it's going to kill you. But it's one and the same thing. So the science did not make sense. The science did not make sense. And I know it is dangerous to talk about vaccination in these platforms. I know that I risk being cancelled. I risk this channel being closed for talking like this. But hey, sometimes we need to speak truth, okay? So please, the powers that be, the owners of this channel, please, we are just having a conversation. We are not attacking any pharmaceutical. We're just talking. But if this what we've been saying becomes offensive, please, we beg you, please, 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 do not shut our channel. Please do not shut our channel. We love YouTube. It's a great platform. We're able to talk globally. We're able to discuss global matters. So we love this platform and we appreciate YouTube for giving us this platform to do what we're doing. All right, Stephen Thor says, so how can the world population be reduced from 8.9 billion to 500 million? Yeah, so they want to do that through vaccination, through disease, through sicknesses, and through war, and through food poisoning, and water poisoning, and medication. That's how they're going to do it. So war will bring about famine. So many people will die out of hunger, okay? So remember, they create chaos, and out of chaos, they bring out order. So in order to reduce the 8.9 billion people to 500 million. Remember the World Economic Forum, they said, I don't remember which year they said this. They said we need to get rid of all the poor people because poor people are useless. Imagine World Economic Forum saying that we must get rid of all poor people, you know. Oh, but these guys, they don't love us. These guys, they don't love us and they don't respect us. So they said they need to get rid of all poor people. And you can do that through war, through food poisoning, through vaccination, through disease, through famine, through wars. So they will use all mechanism to bring about all that they want to do that. When a 0811 says, that's true, I remember that. Yeah. So these people have been planning these things right under our nose. Okay. They've been saying these things right under our nose. And because the mainstream media are owned by them, when they're reporting what happened at the World Economic Forum, they never highlight this dangerous thinking because the media is there. The World Economic Forum events, most of them are live. They're streamed live and they say all these things live, but the mainstream media will never question it, will never be shocked at these comments. They only laugh at it. The reason is because the powers that be own and control the mainstream media. So yes, the plan is there to reduce the world's population from 8.9 billion to 500 million people. And how will they do that? Through war. food poisoning, water poisoning, atmosphere poisoning, vaccination, diseases, famine, abortion. That's what they're going to do. That's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to do it. And I don't understand who gave them the mandate to be the babysitters of the people of the world, to be the babysitters of the universe. I don't know who gave them that work. I don't know who made them the caretakers of human beings. You understand? They decided to control humanity. They decided on their own. And today they're saying, no, the people are too many. We need to reduce the population of the world. And this war in Iran is the beginning of the reshaping of the new world order. We were told by the Russian foreign minister that this war is a reshaping of the new world order. All right. Stephen Thor says, meanwhile, I will continue to be Trump's spiritual advisor. Woo! All right. I love you. All right. Continue to be okay. So you the reason we're in this mess, okay? You the reason the world is suffering. You the one advising Trump, okay? We have found our enemy. We have found the enemy of the world. All right. Yeah. So this is what is happening. So the agenda is there. The agenda exists, okay? And anybody who downplays the existence of the New World Order, anybody who downplays that we are heading towards a New World Order, you need to wake up out of that sleep. All right. The shaman cycle says, will this Iran war develop into Armageddon? Is this what the Bible called Gog and Magog? All right. This war will be fought in stages. Here's the thing. They tell you about Armageddon. We have movies about Armageddon, Gog and Magog. But how they show you in the movies, it's misdirection, okay? The war will be in stages, all right? Like now, the United States of America has identified 5 enemies, 5 countries as the enemy of the United States. The first country is Venezuela. The second one is Iran. The third one is China. The fourth one is Russia. And the fifth one is North Korea. Okay, it's North Korea. So look at how they dealt with Venezuela. There was no war in Venezuela. They went in, captured Nicolas Maduro, and that was the end. Now they control the government of Venezuela. There was no war, physical war. Okay, now look at how they're fighting this Iran. In Iran, they decided to have live animation, live weapons, bombs being dropped in Iran. Okay, this is how they decided to fight the war in Iran. When they are done in Iran, China, Russia, North Korea are the next target. I am not sure whether they will use missiles in China or they will use trade, or there will be trade war between the United States and China. Okay, because trade war is also war. So in Venezuela, there was no physical war. They just went in, took the president, and they captured the nation of Venezuela. No war, no blood spilled, nobody died there. That's how they did it. In Iran, many people are dying. It's a war, full force war, planes, drones, magic, everything is happening. So I don't know when they go to the next enemy, what type of a war will they use? Whether it's going to be trade war, it is still war, okay? Whether it will be physical war, planes, missiles, nuclear war, it is still war. But what I'm simply saying is that this war, will happen in stages, okay? You will think that done in Iran, there's peace, but they're not really done. They just put it on pause. They go to Venice, they go to China. They will do whatever they do, put it on pause. And then to bring it to a close, there will be a global war, what we call World War III. World War III. Then they will activate that. Once they activate that, entire regions of the world, the entire world will be engaged in some form of a war, some form of a chaos, where it will lead us to the great reset, a global reset. And when we have that global reset, that is when the man who once brought about peace in the Middle East, the Pope, will be called again by the entire world. The entire universe will be looking for a man of peace, and that man of peace will be the Pope of Rome. Like now, they're creating crisis in the Middle East. And in the Middle East, when they begin to cry, when the war is too much, when now everything becomes worse, the people of the Middle East will cry for a peacemaker, and the Pope of Rome will come or emerge as the peacemaker. That is why the Pentagon, we are told that they summon the ambassadors of Pope, and everybody in the news is angry that the Vatican is under attack by the Trump administration. The Vatican is not under attack by the Trump administration. It's their plan to introduce the papacy in this war. Okay, it is their plan. So, because the Pope will be the spokesperson of God on earth. The Pope will be the spokesperson of all governments, of all religions, because the Pope has that experience. You remember, from 538 AD to 1798 AD, the Pope was the leader of both church and state. So if there is a man in the world who is capable of leading both the state and the church, is the Pope. Even now, he's the leader of the Vatican City, leader of the church in the Vatican City. So Pope is both the leader of the church and the leader of the state. So the one world government will have such a leader. The leader of the one world government will be a single person. This person will be a leader of the state and the leader of the church. This is what the New World Order is all about. This is what the noise about the Vatican's ambassador or the Pope's ambassador being summoned and being threatened, it's all about. The world is being introduced to the Pope slowly. You just need a crisis, a right crisis, to introduce the Pope once again to the world. And they've decided to use the Pentagon to create the crisis so that we can begin to talk about the Pope. We can begin to once again talk about the papacy. We can begin to once again talk about the Roman Catholic Church. Now, the Vatican, now listen to this, the National Catholic, they say the Vatican urges Catholics not to leave Pope Leo alone in opposing the war. So now already they are saying the Vatican urges Catholics not to leave Pope Leo alone in opposing the war. So again, we're being told that Pope Leo is opposing the war. And as Pope Leo is opposing the war, then Donald Trump said Pope Leo must choose a side. Which side do you think Pope Leo will choose? Will he choose Iran? If Pope chooses Iran, is he now Muslim? Because Iran, it's Islam. Which side will Pope Leo choose? Of course, Pope Leo will choose Israel. And when Pope Leo chooses Israel, he will choose Israel in this war. And Pope Leo will be condemning Iran because Pope Leo claims to be a Christian. All right? Claims to be a Christian. And the only part which Pope Leo can lean towards, it's not Islam, it's not Iran, it's Israel, on the basis that Israel is a chosen nation. I don't see Pope Leo fighting against the chosen nation, the so-called chosen nation. I don't see Pope Leo standing standing next to or leaning towards Iran. I see Pope standing towards Israel. So this is what is going to happen. So the noise that we've heard about the Pope being attacked, it is not that. Stephen Thor says Pope Leo will not choose Israel. Now, Why do you say Pope Leo will not choose Israel? Okay, Pope Leo will choose Israel because the temple, with the third temple which the Catholics, the Jesuits, the Freemasons they want to build it in Israel. The third temple will be built in Israel. And who will be the leader in that third temple? Is it not the Pope? So the Pope will choose Israel. It goes without saying. I keep saying that when we deal with these matters, let us not look at it with a regional eye, a local eye. Look at it with a global perspective, okay? According to the global perspective, they want to build a third temple in Israel. This third temple, they will make sacrifices. The world must repent. So there must be a priest or a high priest or some sort, and Pope will be that figure. So the Pope has no choice but to choose Israel. By the way, the Pope is not like literally choosing Israel, but the Pope already is supporting Israel because the Pope is behind the nation of Israel. This thing of the Pope must choose the side. Stephen, though, you say there will not be any third temple. Today, it appears as if there will be no third temple, but we can tell you for free, there will be a third temple. Come back to this channel when the third temple appears. There will be. All plans are ready. All plans are ready. The Haifa is ready. Everything is ready that has to do with the third temple. Well, subscribe to the channel if you're watching us for the first time, and thank you for joining us. If you have not yet subscribed, please do not leave this channel without subscribing. Help us to grow. We want to reach about 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Okay, when a 0811 says you are right, the account wants to take over Israel because it's the Holy Land. Exactly, that's the plan. They want to take Israel because it's the Holy Land. The Pope needs the Holy Land. The third temple is already here. Okay, where is the third temple located? Stephen Thou. Edward Tani, welcome. Stephen Thou, where is the third temple located? And who built it? When was it built? Where is the third temple located? Who built it and when was it built? If you say the third temple is already here, who built the third temple? When was it built? Where is this third temple located? Oh, all right. Okay, Stephen Thor says the third temple is the body of believers. No, the body of believers is not the third temple. Do you know where the concept of the third temple? All right, we have some breaking news. The Iranian delegation has arrived in Pakistan. All right. I don't know if that is true or not. I have here from Iran time. It says Iranian delegation has arrived in Pakistan. Okay. All right. Let's hope that is true. Let's hope that is true. So, do you know where the concept of the third temple comes from? It comes from the first temple. Okay, the first temple which was built by Solomon. The first temple was built by Solomon. So, and the second temple was built after the Jews came from, and that, okay, the first temple was built by Solomon and that was destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar. And when the Jews were captive in Babylon, when Xerxes began to set them free, they went and built a second temple. And even Herod was part of the building of that second temple. Okay, the second temple. All right. Now, when they talk about a third temple, it comes from the first one, which was built by Solomon, and the second one, which was built after slavery of Israel from Babylon. So they want to build a third one, okay, It has nothing to do with the bodies of believers. It has nothing to do with Corinthians when it says, 1 Corinthians 6, when it says, know ye not that your bodies are the temple of God? It has nothing to do with that. They want to build a physical temple, right? Yes, it is true that the Bible says your body is a temple of God and the Spirit of God dwells in you. But when they talk about a third temple, they're not talking about, remember, these people are not Christians. Remember, these people, they don't believe in God. These people are using God and are using the Bible to push their agenda. We know that the third temple they're building, it has nothing to do with holy worship, pure worship. It has everything to do with satanic rituals, satanic worship, worship of Baal, worship of Baphomet, all the rituals of these people, sacrificing babies, sacrificing human beings. It has everything to do with that. We know that. Okay. The Shaman Cycle says Jesus will never show up on earth. I will not hold my breath. Yeah, he will not show up on earth. The Bible says he will not, when he comes the second time, he will not touch the ground. We will meet him in the air, which means when Jesus comes, he's not coming to set up a kingdom here on earth, but he's coming to take saints to heaven. You are correct. He will not come and walk on earth. He will not come and establish the kingdom. So the third temple, it's saying that Jesus will then come to that temple. That is the Antichrist. That is the fake coming of Jesus. And I can tell you that Jesus, that Messiah they're talking about, is the Pope of Rome. Is the Pope of Rome. Stephen Thou says the Jews got the location wrong. It's not the Temple Mount. You are correct. Remember, they do what they want. They don't care what is right. They don't care what is wrong. They do what they want. They speak what they want. They say what they want. To them, it's not about right. It's not about wrong. Any sacrifice is an abomination to Jehovah. You are correct. Sacrifice have been dealt with. Sacrifice are done. Christ is the one and only sacrifice that was shed for us. No more sacrifice after the death of Jesus Christ. But these people are not Christians. These people are not worshippers of God. These people are intruders, infiltrators of the gospel of Christ. So whatever they're doing, they use the Bible, but they don't believe in the Bible. Just like the nonsense that Israel is the chosen nation. Israel is a holy nation. Israel was once a chosen nation, but from AD 34, their time of probation as a chosen nation of God came to an end. From AD 34, during the stoning of Stephen, they ceased to be the people of God. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching us for the first time. Thank you for those who have subscribed. I can see our numbers have gone up. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. We have come to an end of our show. I can see some breaking news here. The Iranian delegation has arrived in Pakistan for the negotiations of the ceasefire agreement. Any sacrifice is an abomination. You are correct. Even celebrating God's appointed feast are prohibited in the absence of God's presence. Anything these people are doing, it's wickedness. It's not biblical. It's deception to deceive the world into thinking they're doing everything for God, whereas they're doing everything for the devil and his people. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for all that time you have spent for commenting, for don't leave without subscribing to the channel. Thank you, Stephen Thor. Thank you, Stephen Thor, for your time. Thank you, the Shaman Cycle. Thank you, Edward Tani. Thank you, when at 0811. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you, who is this one? There's this one I want to thank. Let me see, Silentio. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us. And thank you so much. Where is this guy? Where is this guy? I want to thank him specially. I want to thank him specially for tuning in. Thank him. Oh, the comments are so many. I cannot reach you, brother, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Valencia, thank you so much. And all of you that tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. Join us again on Monday. Tomorrow is the Sabbath day. Will not be live. It's the Sabbath day of the Lord. Tomorrow we'll be worshiping our Creator. We'll be worshiping Jehovah. Master Stephen Thou. Tomorrow we are worshiping Jehovah. It's the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. The commandment, the fourth commandment, which says, remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day of the Lord is the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son nor thy daughter, thy manservant, thy maidservant, thy stranger within the stranger within thy gates, nor thy cattle, nothing shall do any work. So tomorrow we are keeping the Sabbath day holy. Stephen Thor says, I keep the Sabbath too. Yeah. And the 10 Commandments, yeah, brother, I keep the Sabbath, I keep the 10 Commandments. Thank you so much. God bless you. And Shabbat Shalom as you keep the Sabbath of the Lord our God. Yeah, and no pork. Yeah. No pork, no unclean animal. No pork, no unclean animal. We keep our bodies because, like you said, our bodies are the temple of the Holy Ghost. We don't put anything unclean in our system. We eat only clean food. All right. Thank you so much, Stephen Thor. No pork, no pork. Subscribe to the channel. Don't go without subscribing. Thank you so